What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the what's next on undefeated WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol, following his dominating one-sided 12-round unanimous decision over Umar Salamov back they just fought on, I want to say it was December 10th, I think. It was a Russian card. It was December 11th, actually. It was a card that came from Russia, came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they were fighting, and then boom, a couple days before they fought. A couple days before I found out, and then the fight happened. So, Bivol, I'm a fan of Bivol, but he's starting to turn into that, what Demetrius Andrade looked like, Arizlandi Lara, where he's just walking in there getting decisions for the most part, and he's not finishing his opponents off. He's dominating his opponents, one-sided, but he's not wowing the crowds with his performances, because he's not finishing his opponents. And I think, I know myself, I believe he can finish some of these opponents if he put his foot on the gas pedal a little more, but he's so, I don't want to call him robotic, but he's so talented in terms of he just goes in there and does the same thing over and over and over, and I don't know if he has that drive to go for the knockout. And I think that's costing, people to not be too into him. But he got another solid decision victory, but because he didn't knock the guy out and the guy wasn't a top 10 light heavyweight, most people are like, hey, oh well. But let's run him through the top 10 and see what's possibly next for Dmitry Bivol following that win. We start with number one, the undefeated, unified WBC IBF champion, Artur Beterbiev. I'd love to see this fight, but I don't see it happening next. With Bivol, looks like he has a mandatory due against Gilberto Ramirez. We don't know if they're gonna put the clamps on him. I don't know if Beterbiev is gonna have an IBF mandatory. I think he's in optional mode right now. I think the fight could happen. I do, but it might not happen next. I'm leaning towards the less likely that the fight's gonna happen next. Now, I got Bivol number two now. Number three is Joe Smith Jr., the WBO champion, which would be a rematch. Joe Smith has to fight Callum Johnson, and if he gets by Callum Johnson in January, he's got to fight Anthony Yarde next. I know Joe Smith would love to extract his revenge on Bivol, but not sure he's going to run to the front of the line to do that just yet. I think he wants to see what else is out there, what else is likely, so I don't see Bivol and Joe Smith fighting again next at all. Number four is Jesus, I'm drawing a blank again, guys. Light heavyweight number four is Maxim Vlasov, the former world title challenger. You never know what's possible. Vlasov is actually fighting Christmas Eve, taking a tune-up. He was supposed to fight Joseph Buatsi, to move up the ladder in the WBA. Now he's taking a tune-up bout, and you never know. If Bivol doesn't get ordered to fight Gilberto Ramirez next, I guess Vlasov would be a very solid other option, that I wouldn't mind seeing, because Vlasov gave Joe Smith hell and lost a close decision. But I think Bivol would prefer to fight somebody with a bigger name next, so we'll see. Number five is the bigger name, the undefeated former super middleweight champion, Gilberto Ramirez. That's the fight I think Bivol should go after for sure. Ramirez is, he's a former super middleweight champ. It's a fight that's been talking about, and I think the WBA is going to order it because Ramirez is coming off the win over Yunieski Gonzalez this past weekend, and the WBA, and that was a final eliminator to make Gilberto Ramirez the number one contender. So now, Ramirez has been calling out Bivol. Of all people, Ramirez is the guy calling him out. So I think the WBA is going to mandate the fight, and these guys are going to get together. I can see it happening for sure. So I think that's a very big possibility. Number six after Ramirez is Callum Smith. Here's one I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. But I think Callum Smith wants one more fight at 175. But Callum Smith did what Bivol didn't against, I want to say the guy was Lenin Castillo, I think, or Living Castillo. Bivol got a decision over him in 2019, and Callum Smith this year destroyed him in one round. So Callum Smith's ready to go at 175. They're both promoted and work with DAZN, so I think the fight's very possible also as a backup option if the WBA doesn't mandate Gilberto Ramirez and Bivol to fight. Number 7 now is Eliter Alvarez, a former WBO champ. I wouldn't rule it out for Bivol to take a fight like that, but I think Alvarez is going to want to ease his way back in and not risk himself against a champion of Bivol's stature yet, so I don't see it. Number 8 is Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard is in line to fight the winner of Joe Smith and Callum Johnson that's taking place in January. He just knocked out Lyndon Arthur. He's right there. He's got his mandatory shot. I don't see him and Bivol happening. Number 9 is now Marcus Brown following the loss to Beterbiev. I don't think he comes back, and I don't think Bivol is going to want to fight him after that loss, so I don't see it. And number 10 is Unieski Gonzalez. Wouldn't be a bad option, but he just got knocked out against Gilberto Ramirez. Ramirez is the number 1. So all that being said, I really don't think there should be another option for Bivol outside of Gilberto Ramirez unless like Canelo became available and not moving up to cruiserweight and wanted to fight Bivol. I think Gilberto Ramirez makes the most sense next. Oh, well, unless he can get a unification bout with Beterbiev next. But outside of that option, I think Gilberto Ramirez, especially if the WBA mandates a fight, Bivol needs to fight him, and he needs to fight him now. And it's a winnable fight, I think, for Bivol, so I think he definitely should go that route. But we'll see what happens, but that's the what's next on Dmitry Bivol, the undefeated WBA light heavyweight champion, following a dominant performance over Umar Salamov. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.